Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Community Report. I am Dare Ido. As the effect of Nigeria's economy continues to bite really hard with food prices skyrocketing, the call for homegrown solutions, especially in the area of food production, has become rife. In the southeast, specifically in Imo State, OKOBI, One Kindred, One Business initiative is gaining ground. The people are hoping to turn their economic situations around with the initiative. On this episode of the program, we caught up with many farmers in different communities across the state, and every farm is a different story.
My name is Reverend Father Pius Ibauchi Anyanwu, a priest of the Catholic Diocese of Ahara. By vocation, a priest, and by profession, I'm a farmer.
From the priest spreading the gospel of agriculture to this fearless bee man.
So these are the empty combs. We are not in the season now.
These passionate men who are driving the change from their community to these women on a mission.
This is 2 hectares, and the cassavas that has been planted, they've started sprouting.
Agriculture is broadly divided into 4 sectors in Nigeria: crop production, fishing, livestock, and forestry. Crop production remains the largest segment, and it accounts for about 87.6% of the sector's total output. Despite the contribution to the economy, Nigeria's agricultural sector faces many challenges which impact on its productivity. These include poor land tenure system, low level of irrigation farming, climate change, and land degradation. Others are low technology, high production cost and poor distribution of inputs, limited financing, high post-harvest losses, and poor access to the markets. These challenges have stifled agricultural productivity, affecting the sector's contribution to the country's GDP, as well as increased food imports due to population. Imo State is located within the tropical rainforest, which gives it the ecological basis for the production of a wide range of tropical agricultural crops with extensive potential for industrial usage. This series captures stories of resilience and entrepreneurship. Our journey begins in Owerri, the capital of Imo State, and takes us to Mbise, a community where the farmers run integrated farms, combining agriculture, livestock, and beekeeping to create a more sustainable business.
The mission of this farm, founded by late Bishop Chikwe, we were able to make sure that everything goes according to his intention. So for the past 4 years, we've been running this farm, and it's an integrated farm. As an integrated farm, it cuts across animal production and crop production. So we have been doing the both wings all this while. Concerning the animal production, we are into piggery, we are into fishery, we are into poultry, we are into rabbitry, coniculture, and then we are into snarery and apiculture. These are the ones we are doing at the moment, and we also hope to really go further to include other livestock. Then in terms of crop production, we're into agroforestry. We have plantain plantation, banana plantation. We have pawpaw, even though it's not as a plantation, but there's a way we went around the farm with seedlings of pawpaw, even though we just removed many of them and replanted because they have really overgrown. We're also into cassava production. We're also into yam production, maize production, cucumber, pepper, tomatoes, turmeric, ginger, vegetables, and so many of them. But what we have here now is just like a demo farm that demonstrates all the things we do. Then outside of these, there are other aspects of agriculture that we have tried to put ourselves into. which is training. If you look at this place, it looks like a classroom or a classroom hall or a school hall. This is where we train people in so many areas of agriculture. The ones we can do by ourselves and the ones we can't, we go to the School of Agriculture at Umudike or X, where we employ good hands, good facilitators, and they also drill our people in other areas and other aspects of agriculture. We also help people to establish farms, and we establish plantations for people. Maybe when we go inside there, you will see some of the machines that we use in doing our work. Machines like the earth auger, the mini tiller, the brush cutter, the bush cutter, and so many of them, we use them to really ease work in any aspect or area of agriculture. We also help people also to construct cages and boxes, either for bees or cages for rabbits, and their delivery buses. We also do that, and so many other things that we lay our hands on to make sure that there is food security in the land. I did not study agriculture, but I entered into agriculture because I have the passion. In fact, it was through the COVID-19. During the COVID-19, I saw myself being locked up in the room. They were telling us, today is lockdown, lockdown, nobody should go out. So, and by then I was a young priest, newly ordained. There was no mass. People were not coming for mass. But every day I will see myself watching the screens of the television. And I asked myself, at this time that everything is almost on lockdown, how do you help humanity at this time? And I checked. I saw two disciplines that were just moving when other things were in lockdown. And the two disciplines were agriculture and medicine. Then I asked myself, within the two, which of them can the church freely allow you to move into? I checked medicine. I said, it's not possible, even if they will, but it's something that is going to be hard for them to grant me the permission. Then I said agriculture. I said, wow, let me try. What I did then was to lease some lands in the parish I was at that time and then my village. I went there, gathered some youths, went in, we tried clearing the bush and planting within that time, and I saw it was something a bit difficult and stressful, but because of the passion I've already developed in helping to help humanity, I said, let me move into it. So when I saw that it's something one can really move into and one can really earn a living by doing that, I had to go to the diocese to obtain permission to go and study agriculture in the university. So no, when I went there, as I was waiting for their permission to come by, what I saw was a letter given to me to come and start practicing the agriculture, which I want to go and study in school. So when I got the letter, I have no other option than to obey, because that's one of the things we are really known for. Okay.
The farmers continue to work with the model as a way to empower themselves at the local levels through formal group-owned profitable businesses for shared prosperity. The idea is for every extended family in the state to have a registered business, and there are thousands of extended families in a state of about 5 million people.
We are going to the rabbit tree. Okay.
It's time to learn more about livestock farming. Beyond providing a source of income, these practices are part of a broader initiative to promote regenerative agriculture.
In all the pens, we took one of the pens for our rabbitry. So these where the rabbits are. Okay. Yeah.
First of all, you need to try to know the species of rabbit you want to train, and also you need to know basic thing about them, like their medication. You also need to know what they eat, which is very, very important. Now, what they eat, and you also need to know to differentiate between the male, the female rabbit, when the rabbit is on heat, so you can cross, and when the rabbit is how long it takes for the rabbit to deliver, so you can get prepared. Now, looking at those boxes there, those are just like it was mentioned, those are delivery boxes. Now, why are those delivery boxes there? Is because for now, if you see that where we place them now, this is like more like a free range where they move by themselves. It's not in the cage. Now, why this is like this is because they can cross themselves here without in your absence. But where we have cage, just like you see us preparing there, where we have cage there, we'll be able to checkmate them from time to time. Every day, you come, you observe them, and you know the female rabbit when she's ready for mating. Now, how do you know? You just this is even how to hold the rabbit, and for you to check. Now, you check here. Now, this is the female rabbit. Now, to know if the vulva, for example, now is reddish and swollen, it shows that she is on heat, and then you can mate her. Now, for you to know if she's in, now what you do is there are several ways to check. The same way she is now. For example, I carry her. Now, beneath here, if you want to know, it is like a chaplet. If I place her like this on, let's say something like a flat, something flat like that. Now, I'll place her and I will check here. It's something like a chaplet I will find inside. That's when I will know that she's in. Another way I will also know is that I will pick her and drop inside the box of the male rabbit, and she won't allow the male rabbit to mate her again. That is another way I can actually identify that she's in. Okay, what we feed them. Now we have rabbit grass, specifically rabbit grass. We have cassava leaves, the cassava stem, maize, the leaves, the stem. They love that. Another thing they love eating is potato, both the stem and the leaves. They enjoy eating it. Another thing they also enjoy eating is the plantain leaves, just like you're seeing there. They love eating it too. So those are the things we give them. Now, to enhance their growth, I know it's not just for them to grow, but also gather the weight. To enhance that weight, what do? We get them finisher, because at this level, we get them finisher, either top finisher or any of those company, and you give them according to the measurement. For example, at this their age now, they are about parent stock. What they eat is 50 gram per day. So that's what they consume when we want to feed them with the finisher, same as a broiler can eat. That's what we feed them.
These practices are part of a broader initiative to promote regenerative agriculture, enriching both the community and the environment. Professor Kenneth Amechi, a researcher and the Chief Economic Advisor to the Imo State Government, speaks more about the initiative that allows smallholder farmers to earn higher reliable incomes while building a more sustainable business.
And OKOBI, coincidentally, although it's an acronym from One Kindred, One Business Initiative, is also an Igbo word. So it can mean somebody with a large heart, generous heart. So onye nwere OKOBI. It can also mean a great palace, because Obi is the kingdom or the palace of a king. So a great palace would be OKOBI, right? It can also mean a great village, a great Obi, if you extend that analogy of a palace to a kindred and other bits. So you can also, like I said, mean somebody who is courageous. Yeah. So onye nwere OKOBI, so you can do both things. You're courageous. So they find ways of resonating with our people. But the essence of it is about creating group-owned businesses, because the Igbo people are very communal. And we have used this communal spirit to do projects in Igbo land. So think about people coming together to build churches, coming together for rural electrification, or even town halls, different projects, water projects, health projects. So these are things that our people are used to. But what we're trying to do, or what the governor is trying to do in essence, is to encourage our people to transfer the same communal spirit and effort to enterprises, to businesses, so that a village can own a business. So in China, you think about state-owned enterprises. In Nigeria also, you think about state-owned enterprises, NNPC and the likes. In Imo State, you have Concord Hotel. These are owned by government. But what stops a village from also owning a business? What stops a kindred from owning a business? So it's kind of democratization of ownership of business from that perspective. Even if you also take an African saying, a proverb that says, if you want to travel far or fast, travel alone. But if you want to travel far, travel with others. So there is an empirical evidence over time, historically, that group-owned businesses are more resilient than individual-owned businesses or enterprises. If as an individual I start a business and I get discouraged halfway, I can drop out of it. But as a group, even if one person drops, other people will take on board and move on. So one can argue, theoretically, that although it is harder to start group-owned businesses, it is also harder for group-owned businesses to fail compared to individual-owned businesses. It's easier to start individual-owned businesses. It's also easier for individual-owned businesses to fail. So when it comes to the attrition rate, you would argue, or maybe agree, that group-owned businesses are likely to survive more than individual-owned businesses. So if you look at it in terms of sustainability, so group-owned businesses would do better than individual-owned businesses. But it doesn't mean that individual-owned businesses shouldn't be there. So what we're trying to do here theoretically, or even from empirical evidence, is to suggest that if we have the sort of problem we have in Africa, which is the high level of unemployment, focusing on single or individual-based entrepreneurship approach may not be an efficient way of solving the problem. So you need a new imagination, you need a new way of thinking about the problem. And lifting more people out of poverty might happen easier if you focus on lifting groups out of poverty. I think that's the thinking there from an empirical perspective and academic perspective, right? So it's not just happening in a vacuum. It's not just because it's fashionable. But what works for Imo State at this point in time is that it also fits with the psychology of the people, the culture of the people. And this is not just about Imo State. What the governor is doing is to start a movement using Imo State as a social experiment. People in Abia, they have similar structure, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu. This can be a Southeast revolution in a way, and may not only be this in the Southeast, because there are other parts of Nigeria, other parts of Africa that may have similar structures.
This is Okpofe Autonomous Community in Imbise local government. And here in this community, the youth are driving the initiative.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm all right. This is our farm, Okpofe Youth Employment Scheme Cooperative Society. Wow. We've just built this farm for ourselves because we decided to do this for ourselves. You know, the youths of this community synergized, everybody bringing his or her expertise, and we now try to fend for ourselves. You know, that is what the whole idea was like. We come up with whatever expertise you have, and before we know it, we are building a farm like this. This thing started, this is about 2 years plus now. So what we did was, you know, due to lack of youth employment, unemployment in the society, so some of us now decided to come up and do something for ourselves. That is when we conceived the idea. And in order to make sure that things work out very well, we try to cooperate some of the, let me use the word big shots in the society, in the community per se, to partner with us. And for us to be very accountable, frugal in spending, and make sure that all the youths, everybody is carried around, we now made it a cooperative. That is the idea. Now, because one, of a youth empowerment scheme, we are empowering ourselves financially. We had this mantra, Operation Feed Ezinihite. Oh, that is, Ezinihite is the local government. So the community of Ofe, the idea is that we want to produce enough food, enough livestock, the meat, to make sure that the local government can come to Opofe. We are very lucky. Opofe is at the center of the local government. So when we are doing this, it's so, everybody, that is our market. Not you passed it while we were coming. So every meat there, a chicken, all those is produced from our farm. We have the extensions, but this is just a part of what we are doing. I will take you around. You see things for yourself.
These are our fingerlings. Some of them are even now post fingerlings. They are 4 weeks old. All right. Then we've sorted them out. You see some of them, these ones are a little bit bigger. Most of them here are post fingerlings. And then here, this is where you see our juveniles. All right. These are juveniles. These ones here are even bigger. These ones are now jumbo. As you can see, their size, jumbo. They can now pick 2 mm. All right. Okay. Feed. All right. So they're bigger than the juveniles, right? Yes. This is also jumbo. We have another tomorrow. Somebody will be coming to pick 1,000 pieces from here. Then outside, we have a lot of juveniles outside.
What will they pick?
What they pick?
Yeah, you said
1.5 to come out. Yeah, somebody has ordered for 1,000 pieces
of
juveniles.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we sell also.
Oh, okay, you sell
yes,
also.
we from this production we had up to 20-something thousand pieces. So we don't have the capacity to keep all of them here. So what we do is we sell some and then keep some in the farm for the cooperative for grow out.
The community-based business have shown some promise. The traditional ruler of the community is also a member of the cooperative, providing leadership to the group.
In Nigeria, we have this youth restiveness all over the country, insecurity. We thought it wise with the able leaders of Opofe Youth Association. We summoned ourselves together, decided to form an Opofe Youth Empowerment Scheme as a cooperative society. We, the traditional rulers, we live at the grassroots. We know where it pinches us. The youth of this nation, if they are not empowered, everywhere will be in crisis. Opofe, as a foresighted autonomous community, decided to liaise with our youth as to form this cooperative society so that as to empower them, so that they'll be busy. You know, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. And I'm so much proud about the leadership of Opofe Youth Association. The essence of forming this youth empowerment scheme as a cooperative society is to empower our youth so that they will not be idle. A major problem is we have financial constraint. We appeal to government to help out. And this is not politics. Any money, any fund channeled through any traditional ruler, you get to the trust route. If NGOs and government can come to help us financially, both in training and maybe in providing some equipments, agricultural equipments, it will help us a lot. So we have constraint in material and funding.
A lot more can be achieved at the community level. Sustainable economic development can also be achieved if local communities can be propelled to advance community-based businesses with a common good purpose. That's our show for today, everyone. If you miss any part of it, you can watch it on our YouTube channel. You can also follow the conversation on our social media platforms displayed on the screen. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Dare Ido. We'll see you next time, and bye for now.